up, guys? Let me know if you can hear me well in the chat. But today we have another edition of the NukeStream. And today we're going to be talking about women don't define having women, dating women, being married does not define your worth as a man. And we're going to delve into why it's so dangerous to think this way and why a lot of people think this way and how you could avoid being uh, tying up your ego and your self worth as a man, and with the women that you sleep with, date, marry, so on and so forth, and that reject you too as well. So we're gonna talk about that. So first off, guys, you guys know where to find me. I put the tree in the chat. I put in the required reading for today. You guys will check that out. It's an article by Whisper on Red Archive and all that. So yeah. And we're going to get really into the reasons why men see women as some sort of like trophy, and all that, and how dangerous that is, and how women use that against us, right? And we don't want that to happen. We want to be who we are, regardless if we get turned down, divorced, married, uh, if we get zeroed out, all these things that happen throughout the course of a man's life. We want people to kind of look at it as, hey, women will come and go. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they don't. But who I am as a man is not defined by the woman in my life, right? And all that. So there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into this, guys. And this is a kind of one of those mindset episodes where you really need to get out to assess your ego, how you go about women, things that if you're at risk because of your ego and all that stuff. And we'll go from there, right? So first off, um, why is it that we see a lot of these arguments online about who's better or who's worse? Um, is it the single guys that go out and date multiple women and are spinning plates, or is it the married guys that are living by God's rules and um, listening to Jesus or whatever prophet or whatever faith you have? Are they the ones doing it right? Are they the ones that are truly happy and they have the best type of relationships and all that? Or is it the people that are married but not under God, under the state, or whatever version, right? Everyone seems to think that marriage or whatever relationships we have with women are so important that it changes who we are as men. And the truth is that we've been convinced, especially from a young age, a lot of men, that women really do define you, right? They say things like, behind every great man is a woman, um, happy wife, happy life, all those things that kind of revolve around women being the primary uh, thermometer, or the primary measure of a man's success, right? Where like the better you are at life, the hotter the chick you have with you, right? And then you see these celebrities that are at the top of their game, the most famous, most influential, and the most adored and respected celebrities, athletes, any what name you, and you see them get destroyed by women, right? And these men, a lot of them pride themselves in the women that they date. They take a lot. The women that they date uh, are kind of like front and center of their life. Like, look how hot um, my wife or my girlfriend or whatever this chick is, right? And there are celebrities that suffer from this, and it's very obvious. Like, I'd say one of the celebrities that suffer from the most is Kanye West, right? Ever since I think he left Brandy, every woman he's dated, he's been a spectacle, like some kind of girl to show off, right? Every single one, whether it be Amber Rose, Kim Kardashian, and his new girlfriend or wife, it's always been like, look how hot she is and all that stuff, right? And at the end of the day, uh, that's a very dangerous mindset, right? Because when uh, it is a source of inspiration for artists to be, heartbroken and have their life and be zeroed out, as he was. He made one of the best albums of all time. Just like a lot of athletes, when they get broken up, they make, they play really well because they got nothing left, right? Same thing with movie artists and all that stuff, right? But outside of that benefit, which is probably not even worth it, um, a lot of high level men uh, still don't get it, right? They think that because they have money and because they have clout and all that stuff, that women will just come pour in and do what they say, right? And why is that, right? Well, this article by Whisper says it's three things: mindset, neediness, and ego, right? And it's kind of crazy that a person that's winning in every aspect of life, whether it be they're handsome and jacked and they're rich and they have everything going for them, and they're beloved and they're well respected in their craft, like Will Smith or Kanye West or Tom Brady or any celebrity, or we have a Brazilian football player Kaká, and all that. All these men that are legends in their craft, right? Are still getting kind of destroyed by women emotionally in courts and getting embarrassed and all that stuff. And it doesn't matter how much they've achieved in life. Like Will Smith is a great actor. He's made so many great movies, like some of the best track record of movies for a black dude. I say besides Denzel Washington, and now he's a laughing stock, right? Um, and why is that? He had beautiful. He has models, probably models, supermodels, crawling over glass to smell his farts, right? And there's rumors that he had a chance with Margot Robbie, which is one of the most beautiful actresses, regardless of what the internet thinks. She is a beautiful woman. Um, why is that? Why is it that um, men do this to themselves? Like famous men, powerful men. Why is that, right? And why is it that normal guys like us, why do we do it, right? We do it too sometimes. Um, we think that women are trophies and they define us, and it's we say that women are a lagging factor of success, but a lot of men think that if they don't have women, they're not successful in life, right? And while I do believe that to an extent, there's a way of thinking about that and to understand what that means, right? Because through my life personally, I've noticed that sometimes women leave me and all that, and I feel bad, right? And I'm like, you know, your blue pill mindset starts creeping in and saying, "Hey, am I a failure because my girl left me, because my wife, my girlfriend, this, or I haven't had gotten laid for a while?" A lot of guys start thinking that, right? And that's the sad part, that men are achieving great things, right? And um doing all these great things for humanity, for themselves, for their family, just for their friends, or whatever, for their companies or employers, all that stuff. They're contributing to society, be climbing up the ladder of life. Yet one girl leaves them, or they don't get laid for a while, or their wife leaves them, and all of a sudden they think they're failures, right? And that is what I want to prevent. I want men to understand that women come and go, right? And that's why we have the phrase, "She's not yours, it's just your turn," right? Because we want men to understand that it doesn't matter how good you throw a football, or if you made partner at the law firm, or if you got a promotion making double what you're making, or whether you're 6 feet tall or you got muscular, or whatever you did. Women come and go, right? It's sometimes, most of the time, it has nothing to do with you, right? And it's not, that doesn't mean like give up, like, hey, no woman, it's not worth it, right? It just means that women come and go, and you should not tie your ego to a woman leaving you, right? And why would you? Because if you left, you're still that guy that is making double his salary. You're still that guy that's a good athlete. You're still that guy that's a good father. You're still that guy that's muscular and social and charming. You're still that guy, right? And if you really think about it, she delivered a guy into the world that has all these things, right? And you're mad that she delivered you to the rest of women on earth. And that's how you have to see it, right? There have been times where I got really sad, because things didn't work out with a girl. Whether it be casually, I wanted to keep having sex with her, or maybe my girlfriend said, I don't want this, I don't want your lifestyle, or whatever, right? And for a while, your brain's like, I miss this person, I miss this person, I miss this person. It starts doing like a highlight reel of all the good times, right? But if you really step back and you take time to think, you're gonna be sad. It's okay. She just delivered you to the rest of women on earth, right? She just said, I don't want to have sex with you anymore. I want you to have sex with everyone else, right? I want you to go enjoy women that are hotter than me, sexier than me, more pleasant than me, bigger boobs, bigger butt, smaller ass. If you're into, whatever you're into, uh, here, please get away from me and enjoy them. That is what is really it happens, right? But because men have egos and because men think that women leaving them is some sort of failure on their part, right? They don't think like that. They think, hey, a woman lost me, or my woman doesn't want me anymore. I must be a failure, right? And that's because you were pedestalizing her, the ego, right? You thought that because you got a hot chick, that was why you were successful, because a chick liked you, right? And the truth is, there are scumbags, right, who have a mattress on the floor that are right now getting hotter chicks than I am at this moment, right? Because simply they were at the right place, the right time, and they figured out how to talk to them in a certain way, and they're in a logistics, everything coordinated for that to happen, right? Is that guy a success in life? Not right, not at that moment. Maybe he's a loser, but he just figured out how to talk to women, right? And then there's the guy that's like an engineer that's, trying to get us to Mars, or trying to find a cure for cancer, or, he's just an all around cool dude. And he's gone 3 months without getting laid because he's been busy and his game is not good, or he just hasn't had a date, or his dating apps are stale or something. And now he thinks that he's a loser. And the common thing here is that this guy will start to get bitter at the guy who puts in almost zero effort to get women, right? Because he thinks that if it's unfair that the guy that has no achievements, that isn't all that stuff, is doing things to get women, that are doing almost nothing to get women, that he has to, right? And that's a dangerous mindset. It's going to make you bitter. It's going to make you resentful. It's going to make you jealous, right? And that's a covert contract within itself. And that's a lot of suffering is going to happen, especially on these Twitter uh, people that follow guys that tell them, hey, just be a hardworking man, stack money, buy cars, buy watches, buy all that stuff, right? And it's gonna be a reckoning, right? Because they're going to turn 30, 31. They're going to start going out there and spending money on women, and the women are going to use them, right? Because they're leading again with the beta side and not the alpha side. And men that are betas see every woman as some sort of benchmark, some sort of way of proving himself. Look how awesome I am. I have this hot chick. Men that are alphas and that get it, right? Alphas, placeholder term, right? Men that are alphas and that get it look at a girl and be like, yeah, I had sex with her, but she could leave my apartment, have sex with the guy anytime now. Or yeah, this is my wife. I love her, but anyways, guys, let's like, she loves his wife, right? But he understands that it's his wife, not his trophy. Just a person, right? She's not amazing and she's not terrible. She's a human being, right? And if she wants to leave you, she'll leave you. Like, it doesn't matter how much money or how cool you are. And if she leaves you, are you still you? Yes. You're going to get sad for a while. You may have to deal with some financial consequences, but you're still you. Nothing has changed. The stay plan is the same as the go plan, right? And that's how you can tell a lot who has inner game and who doesn't, right? There are men that, like, when their girlfriend leaves them, they think they're failures at life, right? They could be doing great things, getting raises, getting more muscular, doing all these things, and all they talk about is why am I not good with women? I'm like, dude, one woman left you. That's it. There's so many women, right? And all that. So yeah, let's take a quick break, guys, and then we shall continue. Let's what do we do? What will we do? Let's do what's your plan?
見せて俺たちを安心させてくれんかい。
All right, cool. Just want to get myself a beer. It's a Hoppenheimer. You know, it's I think it's Dallas-based brewery, Manhattan Project. I'm not a huge IPA person, but I just feel like in the mood to have a beer. So, and I worked really hard in the gym, so why not? Um, so yeah, like I was saying, guys, uh, you don't want to be the type of guy that if one girl leaves him or one girl rejects him or one all that, or maybe you just go a long period without sex, like 2 months, you're having a rough go at it. Maybe you just got a relationship, maybe you're just starting to learn game, maybe you were hospitalized, maybe you're just really busy, whatever life situation which didn't let you go out and talk to women, right? Maybe you had anxiety issues, maybe you just stumbled on the red pill and on game content and all that stuff. um Maybe all these things, whatever it is, right? That's why I always say, guys, forgive yourselves, right? Because everyone in the world is wanting to judge you based on the women that you sleep with or don't sleep with, that you desire but don't, right? And um as you go through life, right, and you start experiencing maybe hotter women or women that you thought you wouldn't have a chance with, or women that you didn't even know existed and all that stuff, and all the women that the internet obsesses for, there's certain archetypes of women that the internet obsesses about. Like, for example, there's the big titty goth, right? Had it, guys, not a big deal, right? There's the crazy Latina. Had it, guys, they're not that crazy, right? You're just not used to loud women, right? There is you know, there's so many archetypes of women online that men kind of like memed into existence because somehow everyone is obsessed with that archetype for some reason, for maybe psychological reasons, right? And then you start looking like, hey, this veneer that women had that about being special and being amazing, right? Is going away because you're experiencing them. You're saying the true, you're humanizing them, right? And that's one of the things you have to understand about women is that as you become more red pill aware, right? As you look at this stuff, as you go out and tangentially start going out and meeting women, not only just consuming content, but like applying this stuff to your marriage, to your relationship, to the women that you work with, the women in your life, your family, right? And ultimately to the women you want to date, right? If you're still single, um, you're going to start noticing patterns. It's gonna start demystifying women, right? And one of the things that hurts men so much is that mystery they wanted all along for women to be mysterious, right? They wanted them to be these little treasures that are elusive and no one understands. And once you had one, it was like you get to see the front. It's all for you. But eventually, you're gonna start realizing like a lot of women are the same. Are a lot of women lie about who they are. A lot of women put on a lot of makeup. A lot of women are incredibly insecure. A lot of women don't mean what they say. They just say it because they know it gets a reaction out of you. And also, a lot of women are human. There's good ones and there's bad ones, right? And I always say, and I'm going to tweet this later. Um, Liking all women is easy, and disliking all women is even easier. Having a neutral feeling about women, like whatever, I don't care, they're women, I don't care, is the hardest to achieve out of all those three mindsets. And that is the most freeing too. Because once you see women as like whatever, you start saying, oh, another human being doing something has nothing to do with me. Unless in the rare cases I directly caused it, this has nothing to do with me, right? Now, are there instances where if you're in a relationship and you kind of fold, you have lack of frame, and you have something in your life which kind of puts a strain on a relationship, and you can fix it? Yes, absolutely, right? But most of the time, that's not going to be the case. And here's the issue. Here's the conundrum we face, right? Is it worth it then? Right? Is it worth it being with women knowing that they can leave, that they're not property, that they can go away, and that I can never feel proud to have a hot chick, right? And all that. And the truth of the matter is, guys, is that would it be worth it if they couldn't leave? Think about that. A lot of people complain about she's not yours, it's just your turn, right? But What if she couldn't leave after you had sex with her or married her or anything like that? Like she was stuck with you. A lot of guys would be like, "Oh, that's great. You know, I don't have to worry." But what if no matter what you said to her, no matter what you did to her, she couldn't leave? That was like what the 50s was, right? Because of societal pressure and the marriage laws. Would you want to be with someone that doesn't want to be with you? And that's the ultimate question that I have for like people that don't think about say that no fault divorce is bad and the future of the country and all that stuff. Like, what's better, right? Having a bunch of women with men that they like, or having a bunch of women marrying men they don't like and not being able to leave them. How miserable would everyone be? Would anything get done? And I'm not saying one is better than the other. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a bunch of women getting married to men they sort of like, you know? Maybe I could be one of those men that sort of like. She just tricked me and she has to leave. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't even break this marriage contract, right? So what ends up happening then? I don't know. It sounds good on paper, like, hey, I marry a woman, she can't leave, right? But think about it. Have you ever had sex with a woman that doesn't is not really into you? She's just doing it because whatever. It sucks as a guy, right? And I don't remember the last time that happened to me, right? I'm not talking about the R word, right? I'm talking about a girl that's just like she's with you because she wants something from you, or she doesn't want to leave you because of comfort, but also she's not sexually into you. Like she's doing it because she wants to keep you around or something like that, right? Um, has that happened to you? Have you been around a woman that doesn't want to be with you? And it sucks. It's horrible, right? And it feels terrible. Am I right? It just it burns. It hurts your ego so much to be on a date or on a third date with a woman that may not like you that much. So why are you putting your ego into women that don't like you anymore? And why do you think because a woman had sex with you once, marries you, or is loved you for a while, is going to be with you forever? There are no guarantees. It doesn't matter. So the choices, these are the choices now we have. Force women to be married forever, whatever convention we use, whether it be social shame or laws or something like that. Or work hard as a guy, let the losers lose, find a girl, and maybe have a great 5 years. Maybe the last 6 months suck, and you say, "Hey, let's finish this here because I'm," and then you move on and maybe find someone that likes you for a longer, right? Or just marry that first girl and be miserable for the next 25 years after that first good 5 years, right? These are things you have to like challenge yourself to ask and your ego and all that stuff because honestly, there were girls in my life that I wanted to be with, and I'm like, I could see myself being with this girl for the rest of my life, right? But she didn't want me like that. Either she didn't want me at all, or she just wanted me to have sex or something like that. And um, I had a choice. Like I could let this affect my ego, or I could take the better route and say, hey, she doesn't want to be with me. She just delivered me to women that do want to be with me. She said, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. Let me deliver you to women that do. Right. And that, my friends, is how not to be a loser in life. Right. You don't want to be a loser because that's what losers do. Losers want outcomes to favor them with no work. Losers want things. They want laws to favor them. They want everything to be on their side, and they don't do anything. They just complain, right? And don't get me wrong. Like there are times where I think that if you take the option away from women to do bad things, they won't do those bad things, right? But the thing is, we have social media now, and we have uh, phones now, right? And what's going to end up happening is even with societal conventions and shame, whether it be like these trad women, that's just going to force women to use a more destructive way and more dangerous way to get out of relationships, right? Look at the Steven Crowder divorce. Look at the Lauren Southern thing going on right now, if you guys care, right? I don't think you should care, but it's a lesson, right? And the lesson is when you enter a space as a woman where your reputation and your relationships are your ego, like you have to show the world, hey, look how happy I am in my trad relationship. Look how amazing we are, and we're so much better than you because I'm a Christian hot blonde and he's a tall Chad, whatever. And that doesn't work out because maybe you divorced or he left you, he cheated or you cheated or whatever happened. You have to come up with a way to show the world, your followers, that um, that you're breaking this social convention, this marriage, this contract you had with your followers about being this awesome trad person. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to come up with a really good reason for why things didn't work out and why you couldn't live up to the image you were trying to sell for so many years. And that usually comes down to, let me accuse this guy of doing bad things to me. That way I don't lose followers and I can come out of this clean. And that's what we're seeing, right? If it was any other community, like a gaming community or I don't know, any other community, it would have been like, hey, we just broke up. Sorry. And everyone would be like, oh, that sucks. And she would have gained more followers, right? Because she's single now. And that's the perception. But that's where we're at, guys. And that's what's going to happen if you guys are embroil your ego into your relationships, right? And it sucks, guys. It's not like a woman leaving you is never, even if it's casual. There's some women, again, I always say there's some women I dated casually that I had a really good time and I enjoyed myself. And when they ghosted, I was like, damn it, like, damn it. I miss the good times. I miss going out, dancing, having drinks, being free, having this very free, fun relationship. I miss the sloppy toppy. I miss all these nice things, right? And it comes down to like, hey, I've lived enough life and I understood this red pill stuff enough and did enough self-reflection and inner work to understand that this is nothing to do with me and my ego. Like I have nothing to show off to the world. I have nothing to prove to anyone, not even myself, right? Because this was just this little piece of my life, right? And women come and go, and she left, but I got to enjoy her, right? So, you don't want to be the guy that gets sad, right, for every girl that leaves him because it's a waste of time. Those months, those extra 3 months that you spend sad, you can go out and meet other women or do something better with your time than being depressed, right? And bitching to your friends for months about how shitty she was, right? And I'd rather mourn for 1 month, be sad for like a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks than be sad for 6 months, right? That extra 6 months, that extra 5 months that you spend sad is your ego. It's not this poetic, romantic, I miss her, no, it's your ego. Because right now you're running scenarios around who's she having sex with? Who is she seeing? Why did she leave me? Why am I not good enough? Right? And that's your ego playing tricks on you. Right? And the crazy thing is that there's women out there that are better or more fun or different at least. And you're leaving it all on the table because your ego won't accept that she's not yours, it's just your turn. You are entitled to be sad. You are entitled to your emotions, right? But you can't stay there forever. You have to move on. You have to be like, hey, I'm sad. I miss my girl or this girl. She's not yours anymore. Why would you stay there? It's pathetic, right? Why would you make your identity that a woman left? Why are you ego invested in your breakup? It's a waste of time, right? So, yeah. All right, moving on. So I did in the title put women, right? But what I really wanted to say was pussy, right? Pussy is a commodity, right? I just didn't want to say it in the title because I don't know if I was going to get flagged or anything like that, right? And I'm going to get a little crass here, ladies, if there's any ladies in the chat or watching. Pussy is a commodity, right? if I ever see one of you guys out, let's say I stumble, I'm like, oh shit, it's not the Ocean Man or Godspeed or Matthew W or any one of my loyal followers, right? And I see him with the chick, right? And the chick is hot, right? My first thing is gonna be like, wow, man, that dude, he got game. He got game. It's a hot chick, right? Um, but you know what's really gonna go through my mind, really? That guy is taking care of his needs. He's taking care of it. And that's what I respect. Because you can do so many things to get a hot chick on your shoulder, right? You can talk to a certain way, you could pay, you can it could be an old ex or a friend, or it could be just a friend or whatever, right? But when I see a man out with a girl or a man out talking to women and gaming women, like I see public, which is very rare, guys. I've only seen it men like publicly approaching women in my, I see it often now in the salsa scene, but like before that, maybe once or twice my whole life, I saw like a guy actually walk up to a girl and start hitting on her. It's so rare. Um, where was I going with this? But yeah, I would say, hey, you're taking care of an issue, which is you like pussy, so you went out and got it. That's what we do as men. We don't we don't like we don't buy a bag of rice and be like, look at my bag of rice. We go bag of rice because we want rice and we're hungry. So we go out and buy rice. We don't go home and be like, I got the best rice. Look at it, everyone. We just buy the rice and cook it and eat it, you know. And men should think like that with women, right? You shouldn't. You should view sex as just a commodity, as something you go out when you want it and when you need it, when you want it or need it or both, because that's just what it is. And women have to prove to you beyond that if they're more than just a commodity, right? And it's just the way it is, guys. It's just the way. It doesn't sound politically correct, but it's just the way it is, because if not, you're gonna go out and you're gonna need to prove to yourself that, hey, no, I'm getting this woman because I'm just so amazing. No, dude, you stop thinking about other people. Women are made for you. They're not made to show off to other men. That's not what women are made for. Women are made to enjoy them, right? And some of them want to stay in your life, and they better prove themselves good women, right? Enough for you, not for some kind of invisible rule book for what is a good woman, right? But for you. And you don't want to be the guy that's constantly showing off women to his friends, coworkers, and all that stuff, because it's pathetic, and it just shows your amount of lack of abundance in your life. Because men that have abundance understand two things: there will always be another chick, and women leave. Men with abundance understand fully those two things. So when you go around parading your woman, whether it be online, whether it be at work, whether it be at a function or whatever, parading her, look at my wife. I am married, guys. I'm amazing. I'm a dad. I'm a family man. All you're showing the world is that you are emotionally invested in people's opinion of your wife. And that also is unfair to your wife or your girlfriend or whoever girl you're out with. That's unfair because she didn't ask for that. She just wanted to be with you and love you and just hang out. She didn't ask to be shown off. They may say they like that, right? Oh, I want you to show me off to but deep down, women want a guy that doesn't make her part of his personality, like his ego. Deep down, she wants, hey, I know this guy could replace me, but he chose me. And that's why, guys, you can't have an ego about this stuff, because it's what it communicates to women, right? And that's why these women that are wives of of famous actors, athletes, politicians, or whatever, that's why they destroy the men, because they know deep down that their ego, their image, is tied to that relationship with them. right? That's why Will Smith cried on that interview after Jada publicly said, "Yeah, I had an entanglement," because his ego was tied up in that, and that ego was so tied up in his blue pill investment and in his wife, um, that despite being one of the most popular, famous, accomplished actors of all time, and having chances not only with like average regular women and models, but also Hollywood actresses that were famous and beautiful like Margot Robbie, he decided to sit across from the table from his bitchy nagging wife with his kids that hate him and just cry in front of the whole country and make a fool of himself, and then make a fool of himself again when Chris Rock slapped him, or he slapped Chris Rock, sorry. So that's what ego gets you, guys. Ego gets you humiliation. It gets you, hey, women will start using that against you, right? Um, and that's why a lot of men suffer, because they get a hot chick or their first hot chick or any hot chick, and suddenly they have to show the world, look how amazing I am because I had a hot chick. Instead of like, hey, look how amazing I am. I made partner at the law firm, or I have this cool hobby. I could play piano, or I'm fun and charming to be around, or I am well accomplished in this industry, or whatever other things that you've done, your mission, your main mission in life. Instead, you decide to go with, hey guys, look at my wife. She's awesome and hot, so I'm awesome and hot. And that is, again, that blue pill pedestalization of women, right? And it's built in deep in men because we were taught that women are the reason we're so great. When in reality, no, dude, you did that work yourself. You know, women were there is just a lagging factor of success. So how do women use this against us, right? I already said, like the Will Smith situation where women know that when a man has ego invested into his relationship, his image, and thinking that if a girl leaves, he's gonna be destroyed, like he's not a man, right? Um, they tend to run that guy through the ringer. They tend to embarrass him publicly because she knows that that guy is so ego invested in him or in the relationship working, right? Because that's part of his manhood, that she starts doing things and gets away with more and more and more, right? That's why we have cheating and they're still married, right? That's why we have uh, a lot of men come to the red pill and they just can't understand. Hey, you mean a girl leaves me and it's not my fault all the time? I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah, it could be, but it doesn't matter. She left. She doesn't want you anymore. There's other women. There's other fish in the sea. And that's why this like when we talk about incels, right? That's one of the reasons. That's how a lot of women and feminized men use the male ego against us, right? Whereas they take guys that have trouble with women, that may be engineers, that may be high performing men, or the potential to be high performing men, able to do great things or good things for themselves and for society. They tell them they're worthless because they can't have sex with women. When we all know being an incel is not even real. First off, you can pay for it. Now that that's legal, right? But also, it's a temporary state, right? So let's say I go on a date tonight and I get turned down by a woman. Am I an incel? I wanted to have sex, but I couldn't. So what's the time? Is it like over a day, or is it over a year, 6 months, a couple hours? Like what defines an incel? And the definition of incel to them is anyone I can make feel shitty for not having sex. That is the definition of an incel, right? Guys with abundance know that there's highs and lows. There's times when girls are gonna like you, and there's times when you just can't get a date, or your game is soft or whatever, or you're just not into it anymore. You're taking a break, you're burnt out, and you're not gonna have as many women, right? But it doesn't matter because there's so much more to live for and achieve besides having some strange girl you don't know show up on a date. That's not what life's about. Like women have so many reasons why they don't want to be with you or don't want to see you or meet you, right? And they know that men are ego invested in women, so that's why they use the word incel. It's just a weapon. It's a weaponized word. And the thing is, they use it even against men that are married, the men like me that obviously, with the way I speak and carry myself and how calm I am not an incel, right? Um, it's because they're trying to see if I'm ego invested in having sex with women or being with women. They're trying to see that. That's their weapon, right? And the thing is, like, at the end of the day, I don't know what an incel is yet because no one has defined a time space for what it means to be an incel. No one says, hey, an incel is 3 months without having sex. Well, then, okay, are the people deployed across the world on ships and in the army and the air force who are stuck and can't, and where there's no women, are they incels then? Right? Is the captain of the ship that was on deployed since he was away with his wife? Is he an incel? He's not having sex. His wife is back home. So what defines it? What period of time? What situation? And it all boils down to incel is a word used for people that don't um, that are that have their ego embroiled on whether they have sex or not with the girl. And that's basically what it is, guys. It's just they're checking to see if they can mess with your ego, and if sleeping with women is something that affects your self-worth as a man. And I can tell you right now, there have been weeks where I've slept with 3 women in a weekend, right? Maybe 4 women in a weekend, right? And I didn't feel cooler. I felt tired. I felt very sexually satisfied, guys. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't feel like I was a better employee. I didn't feel like I was a better brother or son. I didn't feel like I was a better friend. I didn't feel like I was a better person. I didn't feel like any of this mattered. I was like, that was good, but what did I achieve? Who am I going to brag to about this? Does anyone care? Like, I probably just said that, and you guys were like, oh, here goes Nuke bragging again, right? Because you guys don't care, right? And that's the point. Who cares, right? There's going to be times in your life where women are just going to pour in. You're like, you don't understand it, right? You're going to get like 10 matches on Tinder or Bumble, and half of them are going to say yes. And then out of those half, 3 of them are going to say yes. And then your ex hits you up and says, hey, I want to suck your dick or something. And then someone else, you go to work, and that, on the way to work, the girl at the cash register buying coffee says, you look like this celebrity, right? And you just don't understand it. You're just like on fire, you're just, you're on fire, like you have momentum. And then there's going to be times where you just won't get a date, and girls just don't want to see you, right? Are you still the same cool dude that when you were having multiple women and not even enough time to sleep with women as you were when you had like barely get a date? You're still the same person, right? It's just maybe something in your life happened that you're just not focused, or you just don't have the energy, or your mind's elsewhere, right? And stop thinking that these two situations, either one, affects you as a man, right? Both of them, you're still the same guy. And if you guys don't believe me, do you guys have friends? When you guys see your male friends, do you ever like look at them and be like, oh, this guy, he's not getting enough girls. I'm gonna dump him. Oh, I can't stand him. Right? There are sneaky guys that will kind of throw you under the bus for a chick, right? And you should know by now how to identify those guys. But most of your friends are just cool dudes, and you don't even care. Obviously you want them to be happy and get laid and get married, right? But you know, I stopped talking about my conquest with my friends like years ago because we don't care. Um we talk about like the latest video game, or maybe hit on politics or fitness stuff, or a funny joke we saw, or Navy stories if they were in the Navy with me or whatever, right? We don't care about, oh, you had sex with that chick, yeah. And maybe we may talk if it was a funny story, because funny stories are funny, but we don't like brag to each other at all. Um, so yeah, that's the beauty of all this, is that um, a lot of people want you to have your ego affected um, by whether you have sex or not. That's their weapon, right? Um, they want you, just like moralists want you to be affected that you're not on the same page as them morally, right? Um, Women that are hoes or women that are mean or criticize you or anyone because you don't believe them, they're going to be like, okay, well, let me check if this person is has their ego embroiled in if they have sex or not, right? And sex is a need, guys, right? But once you have it, you're done. You're like, okay, I feel satisfied now until the next time. Having sex doesn't make you cool, right? There's absolute sleazebags that have sex. There's dorks that have sex. There's corny dudes that no one wants to even be around that have sex, right? Um, but here you are mad because you got rejected, or the other side, you got a lot of women. You think you're the shit now, like you're some important guy because you get a lot of women, right? Um, and this is a more of a symptom of younger guys, right? They tend to have their egos wrapped up in women a lot. So like you'll have these like money Twitter posts where it's just like, look at me and all my women. This is how to do it. Not realizing that, yeah, those women may like him and all that stuff, but it just seems that like, why is he showing off his women to me? Right? Why is he showing off his women to me, a stranger? Why does he need to let me know that he has sex? Why? Why is it important? Because it's important to him to know to let everyone know how amazing he is. And you see how dangerous mindset that is, especially with women when you're dealing with women, because now those women know, oh, I can manipulate him because he is part of. He has this mindset where I'm his treasure, and if he loses me, he feels like less of a man. So yeah. Anyways, guys, let's read some of these chats. Please send a super chat, guys. Pay for my beer. Um, let's see. Facts. Women just do what they feel in the moment. Yes. Lots of women will choose losers. Thanks for the reminder that it's not men's fault for everything. Yeah, it's not your fault, dude. You're gonna think you can control the galaxy, Barry. I can barely control my puppy, let alone the galaxy, the universe. So yeah. RP treats women like humans. Yeah, and that's the part they hate. Like we just take women and we just tell them, hey, you're like this because of this, just like I am like this because of this. They're like, nah, I'm perfect and I'm a princess and love heals all. Um, so yeah, yeah. Hey, you might as well implement PlayStation achievement trophies for the dating game. Yeah, pretty much. That's what they that's what they want eventually. Like, look, I had sex, everyone. Mona says, excuse me. One day I will join you on the beer, but for now I have guava leaf and bitter melon tea. Ooh, sounds interesting. Having contempt for the common is in part of how we got here. All right. The image of traditionalism in modern times is in the 1950s, which in itself was an anomaly due to post-war demographics. Yep. Then we got a theory from Brandon Tracy. Excuse me. Theory. Many guys do know when their girl has lukewarm interest in pulling back. Maybe it's ego preventing him from cutting her off, or maybe it's just extreme scarcity and attachment. Correct. That's not a theory. That's actually true. Brandon Tracy, which runs counter to everyone saying blue pill guys just don't know any better. Yeah. Sometimes they don't know any better. They just don't know what it feels like to be their own point of origin. You know, the number one, because they've been taught all their lives that they're supposed to serve others and do things for others, right? But the truth of the matter is that they kind of know when a girl's pulling back, but what they do instead of like, running dread or, pulling back themselves, they try harder to appease her. You know, they give her more gifts, they spend more time, they ask her, what is it you want from me? And then that just alienates her even more. That's because blue pill eventually is like, it's just a wrong strategy. You were taught the wrong way how to deal with women and all that stuff. So yeah. If a woman becomes an obstacle in your endeavors, treat her as such, right? Incels, anyone criticizes a woman because that's the game, yeah. It's like defeating the Ender Dragon in Minecraft. Congratulations, your house still looks like crap because it's made out of dirt. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Nuke, keep up the great content. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Uh, this is good. Are you likable? Has depth to it. Yeah. A lot of times, you know, like Patrice O'Neill said, girls focus so much on being lovable that they forgot how to be likable, right? And you know, you can ask the average girl, like, "Hey, your husband or your boyfriend walks into the door. He looks pissed after work. What do you do?" And all of them will be like, "Run to him and give him a hug and kiss him on the cheek and tell him it's gonna be okay and ask him how his day went." No, I'm like, no, you leave him the hell alone. They're like, why? And I'm like, because that's you being likable. Men have to process shit. We process shit differently. And women want to be likable, but they don't want to understand men because they're lazy or they want to live in this fantasy world or their ego and stuff like that. But all women that understand men tend to be better wives and even mothers, girlfriends, sisters, because at the end of the day, they're putting themselves in another person's shoes, which is very difficult for women to do, but still. What's your top 10 advices for young men in this day and age? Should they focus on their career or do both? Oh God, dude, what a question. We don't have time. Top 10, I don't know top 10 off of my head. I just say, hey, don't go to jail. Don't get a girl you don't love pregnant. And you guys can figure out the rest. Like you guys are adults. You guys can look up red pill stuff. You guys can make decisions, right? There is no perfect way of going about life. You have to learn as you go. But the number one thing you have to worry about is, hey, don't do drugs, don't go to jail, and don't get a girl pregnant until you're ready. Until you're like had some girls that you're 100% sure I'm ready for this. Control the birth, right? Those three pieces of advice, and you guys keep looking up solutions to your problems, to trade notes online, you guys will do fine with the ladies, right? It's gonna be okay. There's people that are invested in this whole thing going to end soon, and it's the end of the world, but that's narcissistic, right? That's that ego saying, "Hey, I can't get girls, so everything's gonna collapse." I'm like, yeah, women are harder than they ever were, right? But now we have Uber Eats, like welcome to the real world. Technology has changed things, but there's a lot of good things about technology, right? Like now I can order a flight on my phone in 30 seconds, but I got to try a little harder when it comes to dating women, right? I can't just be a Miller Lite beer dad that come home after work and sit on the couch and ask for a beer, right? I have to work out. And working out is good for you anyway, right? I have to be a little bit more charming. I have to, employ different methods from meeting women or keeping my wife happy, right? And you can't have, if a Roomba exists, a thing that cleans your floor like a robot, you can't also have women being like they were in the 1980s or 1970s. Like you got to choose one, bro. And we can't choose the 1970s. Like all this complaining. So yeah, those are my top three. Any tips on recalibrating my social muscle? I've been doing remote work for almost a year. This one really taking a hit on my social life, man. Well, what are you like? What are your hobbies? Step one, what do you like to do? Or what would you like to learn how to do or be a part of, right? Do you like anime? Are you in a big city? There's probably an anime con or some kind of con every 1 or 2 months. So go there, talk to people, right? Are you Hispanic and you like salsa music, bachata music, merengue? You like that music? Go dance, right? And go to class and socialize. You don't have to make friends with everyone, but at least talk to people. Um, Go to the same bar over and over again, and just you have to do things. You can't just you have to go out and do things, right? That's great. Hey, Nuke, I just want to let you go. I quit smoking weed. All right, good job, man. All right. It was making me unconscious about my LTR. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are um taking steps to improving your life. Hey Nuke, late here again. Hey, no worries, man. If you need a list, Cappy has a video called 10 Rules for Air and Clarity. These rules Nuke said are in the video along with others. Okay, nice. All right. Oh yeah, nuclear. I got my first salsa dance lesson tomorrow. Awesome, man. Let me know how it went. Yeah, you guys can join the Discord if you guys want, and you guys can you can chat there and all that stuff. So I'll put the link for the Discord, um, and you guys can join and chat and all that stuff. And we have people like Chad in the chat and Jack Napier, the Post Zero guys, and all that can give you advice or talk to you guys about stuff. Just ask that don't use your real names, and if you know anyone personally, don't use their real name. Um, um, don't cut just be yourself, right? Like I don't care. Like I will be going in the chat and tell you, hey, I had trouble with this chick. I will, because I'm not, like I'm your resident friendly neighborhood red pill content creator, right? But I'm still human. I still mess up with chicks. Who cares? Like again, I'm not. My ego is not embroiled in whether a chick likes me or not, right? So, anyways, okay, we got Chat of Arabia. There's communities for everything you can think of. Just search it a little bit and you'll find it, right? Like if you like pool, there's probably like pool houses, right? Or pool places where you can play pool, right? If you like anime, there's anime cons, right? If you like to cook, there's cooking classes. If you like opera uh, or music, there's symphonies, right? Maybe a little harder if you're not in a city, right? But there's ways around it, guys, and eventually you will find somebody that shares your interests. You will find groups online, Facebook groups online for doing stuff. And there's a lot of opportunities. The only limiting factor is time, right? How much time do you have to socialize? So Chad says your hobbies, depending on what they are, will find people to meet or do that hobby together, right? Anything from shooting guns, anime, like I said, anything, right? Brennan Tracy, a girl fell off very abruptly earlier who I thought was the most interested in me. If I wasn't spinning plates, it would have been genuinely upset me. Also understood something is just out of my control. Right. Exactly. Because again, part of understanding and having acceptance that you don't control the universe is letting go of that control you need of women, right? Again, Anakin Skywalker didn't become Darth Vader because he was all powerful. He was powerful, right? He became Darth Vader because he felt powerless, right? Powerless to stop the things that were already in motion, right? The country may be going to shit. Who knows? Women may all one day wake up and say, we're all doing OnlyFans, or we're all going to go be hoes and F you. These things may happen one day, right? Who knows? But it only matters the only thing that matters is, can you do anything about it? Maybe in your own life. That's the only thing you can do, right? Yeah, so guys, please practice OPSEC in the Discord, like you guys are smart, you guys aren't stupid and all that. No doxing of anyone. And if I feel like one of you guys suck, then you're gonna get kicked, right? Just like any online community, right? And all that. So yeah. And then we have a Helldivers chat if you guys play Helldivers and all that stuff. So if you do play Helldivers, leave your friend code or your Steam thing and put it in there, right? So Godspeed says, just frequent places a lot, then you'll slowly meet the other people who frequent the place. Yeah, like I go to the same coffee shop, and eventually they learn my name, my dog's name, and all that. I went to the same bar, same thing, same salsa night, same thing. I went with one of my friends to an anime con, and he used to go to anime cons all through his childhood, right? His name is Sean. Follow him on Twitter, guys. Pretty cool guy. Sean on site. And he knew like half of the voice actors for the most famous animes, like Evangelion and One Piece. He knew like half of them, right? And it's simply because he would just go to anime cons a lot, right? And yeah, anime cons is a lot of nerdy people, right? But this hat, it was two veterans, to a veteran couple, right? That sell like kind of like anime military crossover style merchandise, right? And I looked at it and then I talked, and they were both in the military, and we kind of connected over that, right? And we had a long conversation. And then my buddy, I think he knows fluent Korean, so he was speaking to the chick in Korean, and I was talking to the dude, about military stories and all that stuff, right? And that's how you do it, guys. Like I wasn't even trying. I just couldn't help myself and to trade stories with this guy and buy a hat, right? To show support for a fellow veteran. And it was just like it was a cool experience. And that's how you may not think you're interesting, but you're more interesting than you think. And eventually, you're gonna have way too many friends or way too many things to do. And the only limiting factor is gonna be time and energy, right? So let's great. Nuke, what do you think it means when my LTR partner is now asking advice about letting go to her friends? What do you mean, letting go of her friends? Like kicking a friend out of her life? Is that what you mean? Is as if she's trying to find the strength and reason to fully let go, but can't for whatever reason. Oh, like I mean, just listen to her and like that's not your relationship. Your girl's relationship with her friends is not your problem, right? Just like okay, yeah, I understand why you feel that way, and just listen to her. She doesn't want you to solve her problems. She just wants you to listen. Women 101, guys. Women don't want you to solve their problems. They want you to listen. That's all. Godspeed says, I made like 4 new friends in 2 months by going to this rock climbing gym same time every couple of weeks. Yeah. It's really that simple, guys. Just become a familiar face. Humans, we're really all the same. We don't like strangers. We kind of question strangers like, who is this guy? But if they start realizing, oh, this guy comes here all the time at the same time, okay, he's cool. He's one of us. And then eventually they're gonna feel that familiarity and that safety, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, cool, he's one of us. Yeah, he's for real. Like he's really into rock climbing. He's just not here. He's not like some noob, Like, and even if he was, he really wants to learn and all that stuff. So, yeah. So, guys, at the end of the day, pussy is just a commodity. You have sex with women not because you want to prove something to yourself or to men that you don't know or anyone, right? You want to just enjoy sex. You like women. It's so freeing, right? Um, you don't care what a man has to say about what you do with your dick, right? You don't have anything to prove to anyone ever. You are enjoying yourself. You're not a politician, right? Politicians are the only people that have to have a wife so they can get votes, right? Because of their public image. You are a nobody, and that's the best thing in the world to be a nobody because you can go 2 months without sex because you want to play a video game or work, focus on work or whatever, or you can have 4 girls over in one weekend, and either way, no one will care. No one cares, right? You can have 1 wife or 3 wives. No one cares, right? Maybe some girl on the internet, some crazy chick on the internet that you'll never see meet, or you can just block her, right? But for the most part, no one cares. If you're 30 and you want to go out with a 19-year-old, nobody cares. If you're 35 and you just want to play the field, and nobody cares. If you're 28 and you found a great girl you want to get married, still nobody cares. Maybe your mom will be happy for you and your dad, but outside of that, your family, nobody cares. So stop trying to show off women to the world, right? They're not prizes to be shown off. They're not you having a woman on your shoulder doesn't make you a cool guy, Being cool makes you a cool guy, not women, right? Now, obviously, if you have women around you, guys are gonna think, oh, that he is a player and all that stuff, for better or for worse, right? That's just them. But like, you don't want people to judge you based on the women. You want them to judge you on your character, how good you are at your job, how how kind you are to people, respect how you carry yourself as a man, the class, and it doesn't have to be and that's, I'm kind of projecting with me. It could be like maybe you want people to see you as a wild, crazy guy, or maybe as a free spirit. It depends on what you want to be seen as. But remember, girls leave, and if you let women know implicitly that your ego's tied up into them, they will use that against you, and you don't want that to happen, right? Enjoy women, just enjoy them. You don't need to make them part of your personality. Just enjoy them, because they can leave tomorrow, and what are you going to do? Lose part of yourself and not ever come back? So, like, she's trying to let go of the relationship between us. Okay, then let her go, dude. What are you going to do? Fred Jacob says, on the verge of turning 30, glad to have had a lot of fun in my 20s, but it's the wisdom gained. Unfortunately, sometimes the hard way, that is the most valuable. Big ups, man. Thanks, Fred. Hope you're doing all right, man. Yeah, guys, you're not perfect, you know. You make mistakes. You're allowed to make mistakes, right? Your need to be perfect with women and never make mistakes with them is an ego thing. So let that go. I make mistakes. I go out and say, I'm like, damn, I really said that to that girl? That was stupid. And then I laugh it off. And I'm like, yeah, I deserve not to get laid tonight. That was stupid. Right. Or sometimes I say, like, you know, I'm like, I have a night where I'm just like constantly saying the right thing. The girl is just like, oh my God. And then I don't get, like, the girl just runs away at the end. Right. And then I'm like, fuck. But at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, I'm still me. I'm still going to wake up tomorrow and I'm the same person. Right. I'm going to be frustrated for 5 minutes and then get back out there or go to sleep or something. So, yeah. Thanks, Fred. Nuke, what's the best way you've dumped a girl? I have no best way. What do you mean best? Like coolest way or meanest way? I found out a girl I was dating had an OnlyFans, and I texted her and I said, "Hey, is this your OF?" She's like, "Oh, yeah, you know, I just wanted some extra money, blah blah blah. And I feel like you don't even care about me anymore. Like, you know, it was like we were ending anyway, and I found out. I'm like, okay, well, I'm good, and that's it. Um, well, like I didn't make a big argument. I was like, okay, cool. Have a nice life. So, uh, I mean, I didn't feel great after. I didn't feel like, yeah, I showed her. I was just like, damn, man, god damn it. You know, I was just frustrated. But it's part of life, you know. It's whatever. I wasn't that in love with her, but it was going that way. So glad I found out earlier, sooner than later, because I was planning on having her relocated to Dallas to move in with me because things were going pretty well. But something happened at the end where I was like, I don't want to be with her anymore. I want to play the field. I like one of those, like, this is what I want. I didn't know what I wanted, but this is what I want now. And yeah. Soji Q said, coolest way, real G shit. You know, I think you would have done the same thing, man. You know, who cares? But yeah, guys. So in a couple minutes, I will be on this show. It's a Dominican friend of mine online. His name is King Macho, and let me get the link, guys. Give me 1 second, cause he's gonna ask me questions and all that stuff. So, all right, here it is. Hold on. Ah, crap! I lost it. Okay, StreamYard. Yeah, guys. So that is the link. I'm going to be going there in a couple minutes. I have to go now, and I don't know how to re. I don't know how to redirect. You guys know how to do that? I'm trying to figure out how to redirect to that. Huh. I had it set it on his channel, but I don't know how to redirect myself. Huh. I thought I did. But anyways, guys, good show, good participation. Thanks for hanging in there and hearing me talk for a little bit. But you guys already know. You guys have it down. So I'll talk to you guys later. And here we go.
Is that Tango on the beat? Left squad.